Among the leading digital print technology brands, Konica Minolta is the one that has invested more and better to establish itself as a leading supplier of label printing and converting solutions. Thanks to its range of dry toner, narrow web presses, the AccurioLabel, and the partnership with MGI, with the digital embellishment systems, Konica Minolta created an ecosystem of solutions, of technology solutions for the label printing market. At this Labelexpo 25, I'm going to check what is new and what is better in the Konica Minolta portfolio for the label market.
My name is Carsten Bamberg, and at Konica Minolta Europe I am responsible for business development for the label business in our industrial printing segment. Our portfolio that we show here on this Labelexpo in Barcelona is representing our existing offering for all the label production, and it is from start to finish. So we start with software for making all the print jobs ready. But then we have different platforms for digital printing that we use, different models that can address different types of applications through generations, and also then we have several ways of doing finishing. Of course, we can do traditional analog die cutting with our partner Graphics plus Screenfabrik, GM for instance, but also with other conventional die cutting tools. But also the digital finishing is something that we always have looked into very much. And now on this show floor here, we can also introduce the latest and full configuration of the JETvarnish 3D Web 400 with varnish, spot varnish and foil applications, fully digital, and also digital die cutting with knives, so no use of traditional tools and expensive materials. Next to our today available products like the AccurioLabel 230, but also then the AccurioLabel 400 for a different type of application, higher volumes, much more productivity, but also then with the 400 the fifth color with white. So we wanted to give also an outlook into what is coming in the future. That's why we brought a prototype of the next generation AccurioLabel to this show floor, which we also show here. And here we want to show what will then with this next generation be possible when we add more automation through control options that we have. We call it intelligent quality care, so IQ option, which gives you much more ease of use, even based on the existing platform, but even more then, so that you have automated calibration and you have control of color density, consistency, and all these things. So you have longer print runs that are possible. So you do not need to stop after a certain amount of running meters to make an internal calibration of the engine. Ideal is more or less every area of business. That's what we learned. Of course, when we started with all of this, we were looking first at label converters because it was the most obvious approach. But nowadays, and also in the past years that we're now doing this, we identified then next to the label converters there was a huge push also from commercial printers who needed to add different applications to their portfolios, so they needed to diversify. But also this product that we have, especially the AccurioLabel 230, is very, very good to fit into a retail or into a production environment where you do not have any skills in the employees, in the staff, in terms of printing. We are now doing this, and we are celebrating it also here on the show floor, all of this since 10 years. So actually 2025 Labelexpo Barcelona is our 10-year anniversary in the label business. It all started 2015 in Brussels with our first Labelexpo, and since then we were pretty much in favor of our own key feature like the ease of use and the good print quality and the small footprint of our original label press. And we were year over year installing hundreds of these, which then led to the fact that until recently we have now more than 1,700 installations across the world. and almost 700 of those are located in Europe. And that's what we also see for the future, that fitting to the shares of in the market of different vendors, we are always in the area of being either in number 1 position or in number 2 position, which means we are somewhere between 25 and 30% keeping of the market share. And that's of course what we try to also maintain for the upcoming future. That's why we are here. While at the same time, and this is what you find in most of the industry analysis reports, that the growth in the future, that is more happening also in the printed volume on the overall installed base, and of course by this then also in the increasing numbers of label value that will be produced globally, but also here in Europe then per year. This is of course something which has a very, very constant growth rate over the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years for sure. And with the JETvarnish 3D Web 400, as we show it also here on Labelexpo, we can now just exactly show this, so that we have everything available to make on different substrates with different types of label applications, the full range of digital printing, but also digital embellishment, being it only spot varnish or being it the combination of spot varnish plus then also foiling effects in various colors. So that it's very easy to have really a digital production workflow from the start to the finish. As we also can see here on Labelexpo, which is a clear trend, that they are not focusing anymore only on the labels, but putting more and more packaging aspects, being it folding carton or also other areas, flexible packaging of course, and that's also what we see, because the good thing for us as Konica Minolta is that with the combination of all our portfolio areas, so not only the label business itself, but everything which comes see alone in the industrial print segment where we look at, so this is label printing, but then also we have the B2 size inkjet printing with our AccurioLabel 30,000 today. And we have the digital embellishment with MGI. Just to come up with a product like this, that you have a combination of a folding carton and inside the bottle with a printed label, all of it embellished. So this is the complete production that we can only do with our own products.